Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Tanvi Taneja, coming up in the next 30 minutes. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer tells Britons to leave Lebanon immediately as Israel and Hezbollah attacks raise fears of a wider conflict. UN Security Council to meet on Lebanon. India overtakes Japan to become the third most powerful nation in the 2024 Asia Power Index published by the Lowy Institute of Australia. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets India's double gold winners at the Chess Olympiad in New Delhi. Britain will move troops to Cyprus to help its nationals leave Lebanon, as Prime Minister Keir Starmer warned that the escalation in conflicts between Israel and Hezbollah was pushing the region towards the brink. The government said in a statement on Tuesday that 700 troops would travel to Cyprus. The British government has advised all of its citizens in Lebanon to leave immediately.
For British nationals in Lebanon, which is the time to leave is now. The contingency plans are being ramped up, but don't wait for those. There are still commercial flights. It's very important that they hear my message, which is to leave and to leave immediately.
Israel unleashed more airstrikes on Lebanon on Wednesday, and Hezbollah militants targeted Israel's spy agency Mossad's headquarters in Tel Aviv and fired salvos of rockets into northern Israel in the heaviest exchanges between the arch foes in a year. The Israeli military said that a single surface-to-surface missile was intercepted by air defense systems after it was detected crossing from Lebanon. Hezbollah has claimed responsibility for this attack. RT's Maria Finoshina has sent this report from Haifa, Israel, on the situation.
It's no longer limited to the border region or just the north where I am right now. The central part of the country is also targeted. Since Monday, more than 300 rockets have been fired into Israel, totaling nearly 9,000 since October when Hezbollah began its fight. Tuesday saw the biggest barrage of rockets launched from Lebanon since the start of this recent escalation. Damage to property has been reported, but no casualties have been confirmed so far, although we have heard of some injuries. And early Wednesday, for the first time since the Second Lebanese War in 2006, Hezbollah fired a surface-to-surface medium-range missile. Sirens were heard in Tel Aviv and the central city of Netanya. Hezbollah group now saying that their target was the headquarters of Israeli foreign intelligence, Mossad. The IDF stated that the missile was intercepted by the David Sling air defense system. The army also reported that it immediately attacked and destroyed the launcher from which the missile was fired.
Surpassing Japan in the 2024 Asia Power Index. It reflects India's growing geopolitical stature. Under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's leadership, India has gained global recognition. The country's dynamic growth, youthful population and an expanding economy have all contributed to the nation's rise. India's participation in dialogues, economic outreaches and its role in multilateral diplomacy and security cooperation add to its steady rise. India's substantial resource base and strong GDP growth continue to drive economic growth, making India a key player in the Indo-Pacific. Driven by strong GDP growth and positive investor sentiment, India is poised to remain among the world's fastest-growing economies until 2030. Goldman Sachs says that the country's earnings have started to stabilize over the past few years and that the growth momentum might sustain until 2030. India's profit tool is likely to shift towards investment cyclicals, which includes auto, real estate and chemicals, which could see the largest rise in profit share. Also, according to global brokerage firm Nifty's Total earnings growth and market cap have both achieved an 18% compound annual growth rate over the past 5 years. Moody's Analytics and S&P Global backed the claim, saying that India's economy is projected to grow faster and will remain above 6.8% for the 2024-25 fiscal. India's Make in India initiative completes 10 years on Wednesday. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has complimented all those who have worked to make the Make in India initiative a success. In a blog, he said that Make in India was launched to boost the country's strides in manufacturing and ensure that it grows as an exporter as well. The imprint of Make in India has become visible across many sectors, from mobile manufacturing to the steel industry. The Prime Minister highlighted that mobile exports have skyrocketed from a mere 1,556 crore rupees to an astounding 1.2 lakh crore rupees, which is a more than 7,500% increase. In steel, India has become a net exporter of finished product, with production increasing by more than 50% since 2014. Defence production exports have soared from 1,000 crores to 21,000 crores, reaching over 85 nations. Semiconductor manufacturing sector has attracted investments worth over 1.5 lakh crore rupees. In renewable energy, India is the fourth largest producer globally, with capacity increasing by 400% in just a decade. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman met Qatar's Finance Minister Ali bin Ahmed Al Kuwari ahead of an annual meeting of the Board of Governors of Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank (AIIB) in Uzbekistan's Samarkand on Wednesday. Referring to the historic and deep-rooted relationship between the two countries, Minister Sitharaman said that India continues to engage with Qatar for strengthening ties. Qatar's finance minister appreciated the fast-growing Indian economy and welcomed the idea of exploring the huge potential of FDI in India. Minister Sitharaman also met AIIB President Jin Likun. India is the second largest shareholder and the largest client of the AIIB. The bank's president appreciated India's contributions to the governance and overall growth of the bank and expressed his desire to explore opportunities to further strengthen ties with India. Voting for the second phase of assembly election in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir has concluded. Voting was held on 26 assembly constituencies spread across 6 districts, including Srinagar. Till 5 p.m, 54% voter turnout was recorded in the second phase of polls. 2.5 million voters were eligible to determine the fate of 239 candidates. The first phase on 18 September witnessed an impressive turnout of 61%. The third and the last phase of polling will take place on 1st of October and votes would be counted on 8th of October. This is the first assembly election in Jammu and Kashmir after the abrogation of Article 370 of the Indian Constitution. Meanwhile, a group of foreign diplomats visited Jammu and Kashmir to witness the election at the invitation of India's Ministry of External Affairs. The 15-member delegation comprised diplomats from the US, Mexico, Guyana, South Korea, Somalia, Panama, Singapore, Nigeria, Spain, South Africa, Norway, Tanzania, Rwanda, Algeria and the Philippines.
Now, it's a pleasure. It's my first time that I'm visiting Kashmir, Jammu Kashmir. So it's really a privilege to be invited by the Ministry of External Affairs to come and visit firsthand today's polling stations being open.
The organization is smooth, and we are told it has started 7 to the end at 6. They are expecting everyone to come and the whole exercise will end at 6 when everyone has been already at the polling station to exercise their civil rights.
It's very good. I mean, this is my first time in Srinagar, and it's of course important for us to visit different states and territories in India to see the election and to talk to the people. That's the most important thing.
And next, we take a look at what else is happening across the world. With the surge in inflation, Hungary is aiming to lift its country's economic growth above 3% range for the year 2026. Hungary's economy is also grappling with 2023's inflation-led recession. Hundreds of residents of Barcelona protested against the country's real estate fare hike due to rising flow of tourists in the region. Agitated protesters threw coloured powder on tourists at a regional place of Barcelona. Labour Party's conference delegates voted against British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's decision to limit winter fuel payments to the elderly citizens of the United Kingdom. The move puts pressure on Starmer, who has been backing cuts to stabilise the country's economy. Environmentalists from Sweden sprayed red paints on the Finnish parliament building to demand political action against peat mining industry. Peat are extracted from wetlands which emit large amounts of carbon dioxide into the air. Still to come on this edition of DD India Live. An Indian Industry Association organizes the 10th edition of Movement Against Smuggled and Counterfeit Trade 2024 in New Delhi. And Rishabh Pant re-enters the top 10 test batting rankings in the latest ICC table. Travis Head, Prabhat Jayasuriya make noteworthy gains.
This week on Defence Dynamics, as India prepares to celebrate the 8th anniversary of its deadly surgical strikes on the night of 28-29 September 2016. The surgical strikes were carried out in retaliation to Pakistan's terror attack on Uri garrison that killed over 19 Indian soldiers. One of the most daring operations carried out by India's special forces with long-term strategic implications. To understand all that and much more, do tune in to Defence Dynamics on Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. only on DD India.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium, we'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Thank you for staying with us. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Tanvi Taneja. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi will visit Pune on Thursday. He will address a rally and inaugurate a new underground metro corridor. DD India's Yogesh Kumar Sheetal reports.
Pune is all set to get another infrastructure push by Modi government. The PM is scheduled to inaugurate the new underground metro corridor from Civil Court to Swargate and will also lay the foundation stone for an elevated route.
Pune is the second largest city of Maharashtra, which has gone through a tremendous transformation in urban transportation in the last 1 decade. And Pune Metro actually symbolizes this. According to news reports, around 4 lakh people traveled through Pune Metro in Ganpati festival couple of days back, which shows that the extension of metro line and new metro tracks are heartbeat of the moment.
Pune Metro is the first metro in the country with aluminium body coaches, which makes it lightest metro in the country. 100% water recycling at the station with zero effluent discharge, no tree cutting policy, integration of rooftop, grid connector solar energy are some of the unique features of the Pune Metro.
Pune Metro are known to be the first greenest metro that we are establishing. We are almost creating 11 megawatt of rooftop solar systems. Not just that, we are also the greenest metro in the form of we have not done any tree cutting. We have always gone for tree transplantation.
Meanwhile, Punekars are excited to witness the infrastructure boost the cultural capital of the Maharashtra is witnessing.
After taking charge as the Prime Minister, Narendra Modi has visited Maharashtra 42 times. But this time, since the Maharashtra Assembly election is around the corner, this visit marks not only political significance but also a political significance at the same time. With my colleague Kapil, this is Yogesh Kumar Sital reporting for DD India from Maharashtra.
The world is grappling with the detrimental effects of illicit trade, particularly smuggling and counterfeiting, which undermine economies worldwide. The Masquerade 2024 movement against smuggled and counterfeit trade is now into its 10th year in India. This annual conference has become a platform for addressing the challenges posed by illicit trade. DD India's Anil Thomas has more.
Smuggling and illicit trade are complex global threats undermining society, harming legitimate economies and reducing government revenues. Masquerade 2024, the 10th edition, is back and looks for building resilient economies and addressing the global challenge of smuggling and counterfeiting.
ये बहुत बड़ा इलिसिट जो ट्रेड है वो हमारे बिजनेसमैन भी, हमारे व्यापारी भी और हमारे लोगों तीनों से उनको प्रभावित करता है. तो उसे कैसे और सख्ती मतलब कानून और सख्त कैसे बने, उनको सजा कैसे सख्ती से, प्लेंटी कैसे ज़्यादा लगे.
This annual conference has become a crucial platform for addressing the challenges posed by illicit trade. Representatives from renowned organizations including India, Switzerland, Singapore, USA, Denmark, France, EUIPO, UNODC, WIPO and the World Customs Organization deliberated on finding solutions in the national capital.
Illicit trade can be deterred through a coordinated, multifaceted approach based on the collective knowledge and experience developed by the customs community, of course in close collaboration with our stakeholders in private sector and civil society.
India is automatically a thought leader. What it has to do is continue doing what it is already embarked on, that is educating the world and its own population.
The report on the illicit markets in 5 key industries was also released. FMCG packaged food, FMCG household and personal goods, mobile phones, alcoholic beverages and tobacco products. Illicit markets in 5 key Indian industries is valued at 7,97,726 crore.
Unless and until we fight this menace, tomorrow same people who are today maybe supporting those countries would create trouble in their own countries. The entire supply chain gets taken over by the antisocial elements.
Illicit trade is termed as the crime of the 21st century by the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
Illicit trade is the world's largest growing industry and its size is estimated between 650 million to 3 trillion US dollars according to multiple studies. Illicit trade or this evil business constitute roughly around 10% of the global GDP. So creating robust methods along with implementing them is the need of the hour to curb this menace not only in India but also across the globe. Anil Thomas, DD India, New Delhi.
Global warming presents multiple challenges for the developing world. The Indian government, in collaboration with the Asian Development Bank, inaugurated a Climate and Health Solutions India Conclave in New Delhi on Wednesday to find solutions for the Global South. India's Health Secretary Apurv Chandra said that his ministry is committed to developing robust strategies that protect the health of the country's citizens while contributing to global climate goals.
Going to miss the target of 1.5 degrees centigrade every year for the past 2-3 years has been the hottest in our history. And the impact on health on human beings is one of the most important issues which we have to deliberate on, and this topic is being deliberated here by all the experts, all the states, and this is very relevant for today's, us to frame our policies. The Prime Minister has already initiated the National Program for Climate Change and in Health, and under that we have prepared the climate change programs for 36 states which are to be released soon, and we look forward to the deliberations in this conclave for further enhancing our understanding of the topic.
India's G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant said that New Delhi's leadership during its G20 presidency has been instrumental in bringing the issue of climate change and its implications on the health sector to the global forefront. He said that through collaborations with key partners such as that of the Asian Development Bank, India and the world have a unique opportunity to shape resilient and adaptive health systems.
Different governments have committed to at COP21 in Paris. We will breach, centigrades will be breached. Now this will have a huge catastrophic impact, and this will lead to vast segments of population going below poverty line. Forests will dry up, rivers will vanish, and the worst impacted will be countries of the global south. The global south will be faced with the dual challenge of addressing climate change while meeting the basic needs of our people. And this would necessitate us to do capacity building, build infrastructure, and ensure that we are able to do technology transfer from across the world.
India has now become the world's second largest mobile manufacturer. Back in 2014, the country had only 2 mobile manufacturing units. Fast forward to this date, the number has soared past 200. DD India's Tapas Bhattacharya caught up with S. Krishnan, Secretary of the Ministry of Electronics and IT in India. Listen in.
It's 10 years of Make in India program, and to talk the success of that, I have with me the Secretary, Mighty S. Krishnan. Sir, 10 years, huge push, and we are now started to feel the benefits of that. How do you rate the 10 years and what are the major outcome of that?
In 2014-15, we were importing 74% of the mobile phones which were being sold in India. Today, we are manufacturing 99.2% of the mobile phones sold in India are manufactured in India, and in addition we are also exporting a large number of mobile phones from the country. That is probably one of the best indications of what Make in India has been able to do in the electronics sector. Likewise, in overall electronics, other than mobile phones also, there's been a substantial increase in the overall production and also in the overall export from India. And the other big story, of course, in the electronics sector has been what is happening in the semiconductor space, where after more than 6 decades, we finally have serious players establishing the first 5 semiconductor manufacturing units at scale in the country. All of these are very significant and true game changers as far as Make in India is concerned, what we have been able to achieve in the electronics sector.
So from 2 manufacturing unit to more than that, and becoming the second biggest global player when it comes to manufacturing of mobiles, how do you rate the journey?
And I think Make in India and Make for the World is truly what we have achieved in that segment.
A big thing is also coming with this, not just semicon, but also the artificial intelligence. That's also something that you guys are working closely, isn't it?
True. Artificial intelligence in the AI mission, India AI mission, is an important focus area for the government. In March this year, we have announced the India AI mission with a total outlay of 10,372 crore, and we are in the process of implementing it. The bids have been called for the first phase of it, which is to implement the AI compute facility in India. Likewise, we have also issued a call for how AI applications can be deployed and for fellowships to be taken up in the AI space. So the implementation of the India AI mission has also commenced apace.
Much appreciated your time. So that was the Secretary saying that from mobile to artificial intelligence, the government is going big, making big strides when it comes to taking this particular sector of information technology further. With Car Person Vinod, this is Tapas Bhattacharya for GD India from Delhi.
More news from Delhi. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosted India's gold-winning chess contingent at his residence in the national capital on Wednesday. India returned from Budapest after registering historic victory, bagging 2 gold medals in both open and women's category at the 45th Chess Olympiad. With this, the Indian contingent ended the 100 years wait for the country in the field of chess. So this was a historic run and a historic victory for the Indian team. Indian chess team comprised of these bright minds: Pragnananda, D. Gukesh, Vidit Gujarati. All of them making the country proud, and the Prime Minister here having a conversation with these bright minds from the world of chess. And latest ICC Test Rankings bring some great news for Indian cricketer Rishabh Pant as he re-enters top 10 Test Rankings. These top 10 rankings lists across Test and ODI saw a shake-up as a number of the world's best players thrived in the last week of international action. And making his Test return, Rishabh Pant re-entered the Test batting rankings at 6th off the back of a century in the second innings of India's victory over Bangladesh in Chennai. Sri Lanka's Prabhat Jayasuriya also solidified his reputation as one of the game's best spinners, moving 5 spots into 8th position after a 9-wicket match against New Zealand. Young Afghan star Emanullah Gurbaz continued his dream career start in the ODI cricket, moving 10 spots in the process up to the 8th position. And Japanese gaming giant Nintendo will open a new museum near Kyoto on October 2nd. The much-awaited museum will showcase the journey of the gaming giant since 1889, when it was a playing card maker company. Excited fans await the opening as they talk about the famous games like 3DS, Super Mario, The Legend of Zelda, Game Boy and Switch. Some nostalgia there. That's all for this edition of DD India Live. Do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and the world on our DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. You can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Tanvi Taneja from my entire team here in New Delhi and elsewhere from the world. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.